了，我想成祖之所以将太子牌位挪出太庙，那也是为了保护允腾他们几个吧。虽然我不知道太子还会有几个儿子，但绝对不可能就这三。
Duke Weishuda's persuasion of Zhu Yuanzhang actually had a selfish motive. As he guessed, if Emperor Chengzu was indeed Zhu Yuanzhang's son, then he also guessed that this Emperor Chengzu was very likely his beloved son-in-law. Fang Xiaoru chose answer B, send him back to his hometown to be used by the common people. Prince Yan, Zhu Di, chose to be emperor, satisfying Fang Xiaoru's demand, and executed him completely. Good. Decisive in killing for the grace of raising his adopted son, and for Fang Xiaoru's thorough execution to warn those who are dissatisfied with him. This is indeed my old Zhu's son, more suitable to govern the world than the crown prince. It's just sigh, old Zhu muttered to himself. He also guessed that this fourth son of his was very likely the future Emperor Chengzu. Let's continue to pretend not to know. Others will surely guess it too. But I want to see which fool dares to speak it out. I, Zhu Chongba, don't mind giving him a complete execution too. The correct answer to this question is Emperor Zhu completely executed. Of course, there is another historical theory. Fang Xiaoru's two elder brothers still had descendants in the world, so the Fang family was not completely wiped out. Of course, Fang Xiaoru's disciples suffered terribly. What? Master Fang, you're really something. You're not just screwing over your ancestors, brothers, and relatives. You're dragging your students down with you. I just wanted to put on a show. Emperor Chengzu, how could you take it seriously? Great Ming History Knowledge Test, question 14. After successfully ascending the throne, there were as many as 10 vassal kings imprisoned or under house arrest in Nanjing at the time. In addition, there were also more than 10 vassal kings outside the capital. Please choose the most beneficial way to handle them for national stability.
大明历史知识测试第14题：成祖继位之后，当时在南京被关押或软禁的藩王多达10人，此外在外的藩王也有10几人，请选择一个最有利于国家稳定的处理方式。
As this question appeared, people under the sky screen all paid attention. Old Zhu was concerned about the safety of his dynasty, and also had to consider the safety of his sons' lives.
虽然自己有20多个儿子，
His eldest son was already dead, and his other sons weren't that important. As for the Prince of Qin and the Prince of Jin, it seemed to have nothing to do with him. But their descendants were still there. If the uncles were dealt with, the nephews would eventually be troubled. I think Prince Zhou, Prince Qi, Prince Dai, and others were arrested because of the reduction of their fiefs, and Emperor Chengzu became emperor because of this. Although it didn't say how the second emperor was overthrown, I think it must be because the reduction of fiefs touched the interests of the vassal kings,
虽然没说二弟是如何被推翻的，
and Emperor Chengzu didn't know what to do.
按太祖祖训恢复原有权力与地位。B. 改封地，先瓦解强藩。C. 保留藩王地位，但消除其权力。D. 按上面3种方案，不同人不同对待。
我觉得一定是第4种方案了，这还用猜？
我觉得选，毕竟天幕上的问题，你不能用正常想法去猜测。
老四，你怎么看？
朱元璋又一次习惯性地说出了这句话。
The other 3 options were all possible, but they all had future troubles. Perhaps it's the 4th option, implementing all 3 plans together. I think it can only be the 3rd option.
咱觉得只能是第3种方案。
Except for me. Future emperors will probably only be able to choose the 3rd option. But this is probably the worst option. Endless future troubles, right? Perhaps Emperor Chengzu, that child, will only be able to use this option. This is a pit I dug for my descendants.
这是咱给子孙后代挖的坑。
The second emperor had released most of the vassal kings, but they were still under house arrest in Nanjing. After Emperor Chengzu entered the capital, he released Prince Zhou and other kings back to their fiefs, and restored their power. However, in the 18th year of Emperor Chengzu's reign, Prince Zhou exchanged the power of the 3, essentially abandoning his power. The other kings were roughly the same. B. Emperor Chengzu transferred Prince Ning from Liaodong Gaming to Nanchang, Jiangxi, and Prince Ning from Gansu to Wugong, Huguang. C. Except for the Prince Xiang and other kings who died during the reduction of their fiefs and had no descendants, other kings basically had their status restored, but their power slowly diminished. If that's the case, I still don't know which one is correct. Choose the first one? No. Choose the second one, that's right. The purpose of this question is to stabilize the Great Ming, and there is no accurate answer. This question is a bonus question. As long as you choose, you are considered correct. It seems the sky screen also has no solution to this problem. And only I can solve this problem. It's just... Old Zhu sighed deeply. A trace of helplessness and worry appeared in his eyes. Although he knew what to do, he really didn't want to do it. Great Ming History Knowledge Test. Question 15. Earlier we mentioned that the Great Ming's second emperor not only had no temple name or posthumous title, but even his reign title was cancelled. So how were the 4 years of the second emperor's reign titled? Sigh. Emperor Chengzu was truly ruthless. He even cancelled my great-grandson Yunwen's temple name and reign title. All this couldn't really be done by that fourth son, could it? A. The Hongwu reign title was used for the first 3 years, and the 4th year was Yonglei first year. B. Advanced the Yonglei reign title by 4 years, and Emperor Chengzu's actual ascension date was Yonglei 4th year. C. Posthumously recognize Emperor Chengzu's biological father as emperor, and establish an independent reign title. D. Posthumously recognize Emperor Chengzu's grandfather and biological father as emperors, and establish 2 independent reign titles. If it's D, then there's absolutely no problem. It must be that boy Zhu Sei. If not, then it's another story. If it really was the 4th son who became Emperor Chengzu, then undoubtedly, the 4th son could only act according to the first method. Why are there 3rd and 4th answers? Could it be that Emperor Chengzu is not my descendant? Then whose could he be? Could there really be a Sima Yi in the court? Based on the previous dozen questions, every question, every answer contains profound meaning. Perhaps this is heaven foreshadowing something to me? As he spoke, Old Zhu glanced again in the direction of Old Li and Old Shu. The sky screen mentioned earlier that boy Li Jinglong welcomed Emperor Chengzu into the capital. But it didn't say what Duke Han or Duke Wei did. Even if they died, their descendants would still be part of the answer. Especially since Duke Han's heir is my son-in-law. It's not impossible for him to ascend the throne as a son-in-law. When Old Zhu's face darkened, Duke Wei Shuda saw Old Zhu's expression and his scalp almost exploded. He was really afraid of the last 2 answers. If that were the case, Emperor Zhu would probably start killing again. The correct answer to question 15 is A. The Hongwu reign title was used for the first 3 years. Although Emperor Taizu of Ming, Zhu Yuanzhang, passed away in the 31st year of Hongwu, after Emperor Chengzu ascended the throne, he ordered the abolition of the second emperor's Jianwen reign title and changed the 1st to 3rd years of Jianwen to the 31st to 34th years of Hongwu. Therefore, the Hongwu reign title was used until the 34th year of Hongwu. As a sigh of relief, as if relieved of a heavy burden, came from Duke Wei under the sky screen. Of course, the Hongwu reign title was not only used until the 34th year of Hongwu, 276 years after the founding of the Great Ming. With the suicide and martyrdom of the last Ming emperor, Emperor Chongzhen, some descendants of the Ming imperial family successively established small courts attempting to restore the Ming Dynasty. For example, Zhu Tengjia, a descendant of Zhu Yuanzhang, Emperor Taizu of Ming Zhu Yuanzhang's nephew, once briefly claimed to be emperor and changed the reign title to Hongwu 278th year, but it quickly perished. So Wensheng's descendants truly could continue to exist until the end of my Great Ming. I can be considered to have done right by him. Anyway, he wasn't seizing the throne from my own descendants, and what's more, he didn't forget me. Still using the Hongwu reign title. Now entering the personal question time for the sky screen, each person proposes a topic. This round is an optional trial. Emperor Hongwu, please ask first. Heavenly Venerable Sky Screen above. Your humble servant, Zhu Yuanzhang, has a request. May I ask if the lifespan of my eldest son, Zhu Biao, can be changed?
本期为任选10人，请洪武皇帝率先提问。
天尊天目在上，臣子朱元璋有一事相求，请问我的长子朱标，他的寿命是否可以改变？